Hey, welcome to every other Wednesday evening show with Matt Miller. If you're just joining us for today, which you are, because we've never done this before, ever, we're just adjusting to the online life of student ministry, and we're going to try and figure that out as we go. But what this is basically it's a little talk show, a little bit telling you about Jesus, telling you about what we're learning about the Wake community, about our community, and letting you know people in our church so we can grow deeper together as not just a student ministry, but a church, and hopefully you guys can connect with your families and with God. So that's why we're here. Again, it is the every other Wednesday evening show with Matt Miller. For now, I caught up with our friend Chris Taylor. Beautiful story on that guy, great guy. Didn't really interview him, but his new show, it's called Ooh, That's Too Hot. And we actually set it up so he would interview two guys from both our church and from New Philadelphia High School, their teachers, and two guys I coach with for the football team. And let's just see where that goes.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
That thing's hot.
Ooh, that's too hot.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris Taylor, and welcome to a brand new show, Oh That's Too Hot, the show where we have spicy wings and even spicier questions. And with me I have Seth Watson, Mike Johnson. They both go to our church, and they're also teachers at our very own New Philadelphia High School. And so I'll be asking them some questions just about their lives and things like that. And as the questions progress, so will the hotness of the wings. So I know weightlifting has started for both of you, either football or basketball, whichever it may be. So Seth, how has your workout routine changed? Like 1 being the slowest, 10 being the fastest. How has that sort of progressed in preparation for this interview?
Okay, let's try this wing. It's not too bad. Not too bad. So my workout routine has not changed. A week ago, it was at a 0, and it's still working at a 0.
Hey, getting out of bed is nothing to scoff at.
That's about all I do. Get out of bed, go through the day, get back in it.
I respect that. So, Mike, I know that you're a big weightlifter, and so I gotta ask. So, you seem like a pretty buff guy who lifts a lot of weights. Does your muscles sort of indicate your strength to how well you can hold a wing? Let's go for it.
Awesome. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a crazy weightlifter, but as far as my muscles trying to help me digest this, I don't think my muscles are going to help. I'm pretty worried with my taste buds. Oh, it's so hot. And I'm still pretty terrified where it's going to end up, even though that was very good.
So, you guys are both high school coaches, and so coaching is something that's often intense, especially in football, and you have sort of an intense relationship with the kids because you're constantly on them just trying to make them better. How do you sort of instill Christ-like ideals with middle school and high school coaching or even teaching?
I'll go first on that. All right. That one's not too bad. But yeah, you're right. We are intense while we're coaching, and so we really find time to talk to the kids outside of the stadium or just in the locker room and show them a little bit of Christ ideas across, and just trying to model being a good person.
And when we do that, I mean, it comes in all kinds of different ways. Like when we get a chance to communicate with those kids in small groups, or our football kids seeing us with our kids, seeing us with our family, and how we interact with our families as well.
So many students being online now, learning a whole new style of learning, and of course this is a big change for them and sort of how they learn and their learning styles, which differs from every kid. So how has the pandemic sort of changed your style of teaching, and how has it affected you personally?
All right, here we go. Hot, right?
Oh yeah.
Hot. All right.
Really hits you.
That's pretty good. Anyhow, with the online learning, the biggest thing is trying to make that personal connection with each kid to get them to buy in and still want to do the work for you.
It's great.
Not bad.
Not too bad so far. Well, there's a little bit of heat on it, but well, I think with the pandemic, last spring was so challenging. I thought this year we prepped it. The kids have been through it once, and since they went through it, I think they're in a better position, you know, because we've gone through it. We have more defined expectations for them now, and I think that helps. And like Seth said, we are currently still full in person, which is nice. Because of that, it's been pretty decent thus far.
That's good. So obviously both of you are not only teachers, but you're also parents, and Mike specifically. So what's it like sort of micromanaging twins and not only being their dad, but also sort of being on top of their schoolwork and make sure they're getting it done? And so how does that sort of parenting style compare with your teaching style?
Goat Rider.
Oh yeah.
This is solid. Well, as far as teaching and working with my kids, last, in March, when everyone was quarantined, it was pretty challenging, and it's a little louder at home sometimes to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Sometimes you gotta get on them a little bit, but overall, as far as working with my kids, working with the high school kids, you try to teach your kids, you try to teach them in a way and that of a skill set you think they're capable of, and you try to push them. And it was actually kind of fun because one of the things that we're learning about is one of the things I teach my high school kids.
And Seth, obviously this is a little different of a question, but I think it's equally as important. If you could change one thing about Mike, and I know you guys are very, very close friends, what would you change about him and why? Please be as specific as you would like.
I'm going to need a minute here to think about that question.
Enjoy that. It's pretty good.
Change about Mike.
Really just do some soul searching.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good wing.
It was really good.
It's
really
warm.
good.
It is warm.
Your lips will feel it.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I've taught the Dave Ramsey program. And it's just basically a program where you're trying to budget your money and really get cash in your pocket instead of using a credit card. So one thing that I would like to help Mike change in his life is the use of a credit card. Now, I know he budgets. He does budget, and he pays off his credit card each month.
In full, every month.
In full, every month.
Yes.
Yeah, so the one thing that I'm going to try to encourage him and that he should change is using his credit card less and using cash more.
All right, so obviously you guys have been teachers for at least a while, and so what's some of your favorite or awkward or funny teaching moments?
All right. On the wing? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's pretty hard. I guess as far as favorite teaching moments and funny teaching moments, I mean, it just varies. There's, teaching's fun because you get to be around these kids every single day and you build these relationships, and sometimes, you guys laugh. Sometimes you laugh a lot, and we in an economics class just the other day, we're making Christmas chains. We decided to make a Christmas chain factory because it's kind of festive, kind of fun, where you cut those paper chains, and we're seeing how good workers are, how worthless workers are, and it's actually kind of fun because you get to usually pick on a couple kids or have them get on each other or get on you, as we're all trying to do a simple elementary skill, something we all did in elementary school. A pressure situation, it's always a lot of fun. It's always funny because the kids, just the way they interact with each other, it's what makes teaching fun.
Well, that's warm. I'm starting to get hot. It was the Friday of our Dover Philly football game, and our assistant principal in the middle school, Miss Reed, she thought it would be fun if she could come running down the hall, and anytime she got into my classroom, she'd consider that a touchdown. She was gonna see how many times she could. Wow, that's hot. So that just kicked in a little bit there. First couple times, didn't see her coming. Then by the end of the day, we would hear her come running down the hall, and the 25 kids in class would get up, run, and meet her in the hallway. And a couple of those last few times, they actually tackled her down to the ground so that she couldn't score and come running through.
That's hilarious.
That was a fun day.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Can we get some
Some
water?
more water, please.
Hey,
In
this
the
table
cup.
needs water. That's how bad it is.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you.
It gets better.
Thanks.
So when Matt asked a lot of students who their favorite teacher was, both of you guys were at the top of their lists. And so why do you think you've had or continued to have such a lasting impact and that sort of success with students on, like, in your classroom and after they leave it?
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very
Cheers to
flattering.
that.
Yeah. It's a good wing until it gets too hot. So far, it's still good. Well, it's flattering that we're on the list. It means a lot because you form these relationships with students, with your players, and that's, I mean, it's all about getting the best out of people. And if you want to get the best out of people, you got to get to know them. And it's really what this profession's all about. You're building relationships. You're working with kids. You're trying to make everybody everybody better, and they're making you better with it too. And and the more you put in, the more you get out, which is awesome.
Get into this one here.
Honey mustard.
Honey mustard's my favorite anyhow.
I know, just
Even
a little
though it is
habanero on it.
level 12 of hotness.
Yeah.
Like Mike said, it's all about the relationships and building that rapport with students. It's starting to get warm here. But there's a little saying that kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. But building those relationships, I think that's the key. Yeah, and that's probably why our names come up with them.
So throughout the years, if you could give one piece of advice to not only middle school but also high school students on how to continue to grow in and follow Christ as they meet the real world, what would it be?
Wish me luck.
Good luck, Seth.
You got.
I'll try to answer the question before that kicks in. I think it's important that the kids would pray every day, get into the Bible, and continue to meet with Matt. I think Matt's a good person for our kids to see, just because he's definitely a Christ follower and he portrays what it's like to be a good person and a leader and good model for our kids.
And I would agree with that. Should I answer first? Or you want me to go jump right in?
Oh, just jump right in.
Right. Okay, let's do it. I don't know. Maybe I needed a little bit more sauce.
Mine must have needed more sauce too.
I don't know. Unless we're just like as manly as we thought we were.
Maybe we are.
Maybe it's starting to turn up a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's a slow
Starting to.
burn.
It is. Yeah. Like I feel it. The lips a little bit. They sting. Those cartoons where like that, they got the thermometer and it goes up. I can feel that, like in your head. Does that ever happen to you guys?
Yeah, it's
Where you start to
starting
feel
a little
like,
bit.
where you
Oh,
start
yeah.
to feel like it's amping up a little bit. But I would agree with what Seth said. I think knowing your roots in your home and having that connection, especially and even as kids go off to college, I think knowing that there's this foundation that's built, and then I guess as they're in high school, it's maintaining that, and that's, I think it's hard to do, but I think routines are good. I think if it is jumping in the Bible and trying to read for 10 minutes a day, something that's doable for kids, I think is the key. And I think that, like Seth said, I think Matt's a great guy to have around because he sets a good example. He's a positive role model who believes in the right thing and does the right thing and follows Jesus. And I think that's what you want. You want those types of people to be around your kids and lead your kids.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, what do we got going on here?
This is the last one. It's called Apollo.
Easy.
Oh my gosh. I've never been more terrified than I am right now.
How's How's that one taste?
It's not very hot. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's getting spicier. More of a slow burn. Oh my god. Whew. That's too hot. Anyway, so Seth, I've been told you're, oh my gosh, a professional math enthusiast. Could you explain why learning ratios is important to a 6th grade curriculum?
Sure. Yes, here we go. Ratios. Ratios are important in 6th grade math. That's how. You're right. Like just takes your breath away. But because you would need to know how much sauce to put on a wing, and that is way too much. It's like it's like that.
Okay.
That little spice there just sits right on the back of your tongue.
Yeah. So that's like enough sauce for like 18 wings or like 3 wings?
Right, so that little drop of sauce that I just threw on there would have been enough for the 8. Mm-hmm. So ratios are good because you want that drop for 8, not that one drop for 1. Because that's hot. But I'm going to go into it again.
Do it again.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
No.
That was a bad idea. Do you lick the fingers?
Now, we're teaching ratios right now. Actually, in math class. And ratios are good also for maybe when they... Wow. Well, that is too hot. Is that the name of the show?
That's the name.
It don't even matter why ratios are important. Who cares? Because I know the kids don't. But I like teaching it. Go ahead. Try Mike's question. Wow, my eyes are dripping. That thing's hot. Careful. Yep. It finally got hot.
It looks like it got hot.
Whew.
I don't know why I'm about to do what I'm about to do.
You gotta keep your mouth closed. You can't let that air get in there. The air like inflames it.
Makes it hotter?
Oh yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Just don't breathe for like 3 minutes.
Seriously. Because the more you do, it just makes it worse and worse. Wow. I got tears coming down the piece. This is awful. Too much sauce on that last round, Matt.
That's right.
Too much sauce.
All right, so Mike, as a microeconomics teacher, tell me your thoughts on sort of the socioeconomic impacts of socialism in America.
Love it.
Wow. Be careful.
I got a big bite. Well, a couple of things. First off, when we're studying like microeconomics, we talk a little bit about socialism, but socialism is not it's not the economic system that we're really looking at. So it really doesn't pertain, and it just keeps getting hotter the more you talk. So, my goodness. So as we're looking at, I don't even know how the question finished.
It's like the flames are hot when the air comes out of your mouth. It makes it hotter.
It makes it's
Just keep breathing. See what happens.
That's the worst thing I've ever done.
And I don't know what's better for it, the milk or the water. It's hot. You get a clean part of your towel when you wipe your eyes, when you wipe your tears away. He didn't put a good ratio of sauce.
That's a terrible ratio to send it to 6th grade.
Yes.
Oh, man, my wife's gonna love seeing Oh, man.
It's almost like you take a drink, you're good for a half second,
Not even.
and then that relief is gone.
Oh my gosh. It's numb.
Yeah, this was awful. What is that? Was that called hot death? I
don't know what it is.
Apollo.
Apollo. Apollo.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so hot.
It's really hot. Your face is leaking all over.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, I have no idea what you asked.
Man, this is a different kind of sore.
Yeah, I don't even care. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. So the question had to deal with socialism. I'm not even sure what socialism dealing with what. I got lost there for a minute.
Just the socioeconomic impacts of socialism in America. If we were to be under that system, say, how would a system based on which mostly works off of corporations and their sort of subsidiaries, how would that affect the socioeconomic sort of culture in America?
Well, if we are a mixed economy, so we have some socialism, you know, and some of that socialism's here to help people, which is good because that's one of the things that governments are supposed to do. Churches are too, but they didn't help here tonight. Oh, that was terrible. You know, but there's elements that we have that are in our system currently that are socialist, and that's okay because they've helped provide relief. For businesses, they provide relief for businesses. They provide relief for families, and that's good. But as far as a full non-socialism thing, that might be a little too far. You know, we saw all that went in Russia. That's what I did. Just said. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That one's not on the AP test. I'll tell you that much. That's good milk.
All right, so how are we feeling?
Pretty good. That was hot though. Yeah, that last one was killer.
Painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel it, and the lips are burning. I think there's a tear just now forming that I thought was done, but you know, that's okay.
It's okay.
That's okay. That's what we're here for, right?
I mean, that was the most pain I've ever felt in my 18 years of living, so I'm just gonna go home, lay on the couch with my dog, and just cry myself to sleep. It's gonna... Anyway.
Well, you know, hey,
This has been Oh That's Too Hot. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Have a good night.
All right, so we are here with Mike Johnson, Chris Taylor, and Seth Watson. We're just going to talk a little bit about your experience. Seth, I don't think it really hit you to the last one. Mike, you had a little eyes working there in the second to last one. Okay. Chris, you looked like you dishonored your family, so pretty quick. But that's okay. I mean, I didn't put enough sauce on, I think, until the last Apollo. Obviously, this is the last dab, the Apollo. This smells like plastic, okay, which means don't eat it or put it near your orifices on your face or probably anywhere else. Ears. So, Mike, what was that experience like for you, and would you ever do it again?
I mean, it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of laughs over there. I mean, we really enjoyed ourselves, but I would never do it again. There's something about, like, hot wings. I'm a mild wing guy. You know, I like the flavor. I don't like the spice. And I think you saw why.
Yeah.
You know?
What about you, Balachi? Sorry, I mean Chris. Sorry, it's so easy for me to make fun of you a little bit because you're like, I've seen you grow up from when you were 12, and now you're 18, and you're still 12 in my brain. You're just locked in.
Well, for me personally, I only dabbled ever in the hot wing zone, and below that I only manage honey barbecue. I was never really the spice kind of guy, nor the culture kind of guy. So,
What does that mean?
like being cultured, like spicy garlic, Parmesan.
Oh, you don't navigate outside the water zone.
No. So really just leaving those zones was a very adventurous and very, I think, positive experience, even though the last two were a bit much for me to handle, but we all have our limits and they can be broken past, and I have very bright eyes for the future.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, in the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof. So, I mean, he tried to say glass ceiling, but it's Michael, so he's the GOAT. Speaking of the GOAT, I've heard that would be the best sauce. Seth, I know you had not much of a reaction until the last one. I thought your little faux hawk was going to fall down for a second, just from all the sweat. But what would be your favorite, or actually, what's your least favorite that you did?
The least favorite by far had to be the Apollo. It was just miserable.
But it made the show worth it.
Yes, yeah. Because those first 7 were above mild and probably above medium and hotter than anything that I've really ever tried on a wing. But that Apollo was ridiculous. Yeah. And if that gets thrown away and I never see it again, that'd be okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Carter next time I see him and be like, hey, put this on all your dad's sandwiches. He'll never know.
Well, no. That smell gives it away.
Do you want to smell it?
No.
It smells like a plastic bin. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm sure if you smell, I don't know, anything plastic, it smells like that. C4, probably, to be honest.
Probably.
Okay, so do you think this was a growing experience between you, Seth, and Chris? Do you feel like you know each other a little better? You understand a little more about each other?
Yeah, I mean, you really put yourself out there. Whenever you're you know, I think Chris said it, you get out of your comfort zone and you try something new, and I think this is, you know, it's out of all of our comfort zone. So it was kind of fun. It wasn't even kind of fun, it was fun. We really enjoyed it, but even though we enjoyed it, like I said earlier, I'm not coming back.
So if I ask you to volunteer in Wake, you'll be like, I'm not gonna.
Oh no, that's different. As long as Paula doesn't join us,
Well,
there's a chance.
Can't make promises.
Neither can I.
Yeah, there we go. No, it won't join you. This is I have big plans for this guy, but only for this segment for sure. I will never take it home. I will hide it so that Jim Borton never gets a hold of it because he will poison me. Because he's a jokester.
What about you? Would you step on the other side of the camera and get in front and? take the
Oh,
wing?
would I do that? No,
Yes.
absolutely not. No, the thing that I like about being the youth minister is that I'm kind of like I think I said to you before, I'm kind of like the Godfather. I come up with stupid ideas, potentially dangerous, maybe someone dies, and I have other people do them for me. And that was the cheer, I swear to God. But also, like, the way that you lead your families, the way that, not during a pandemic, you're here every single week, and your kids love the Lord, and they love having fun, and we work with them down in Super Kids sometimes, and I have Carter, and it's just cool to see and to grow with you guys, and I think that's important when you're talking about getting kids to hang on to Jesus once the real world sets in. And I think you guys do a really good job of that. That's why your name pops up. And that's why, Chris, you're leaving a legacy in this youth group as the do-it-all guy. I mean, you do everything. You run slides, you run lights, you run sound, you're in everything. You go to every single thing, and you never, ever have a moment in your life where you waver on if you're chasing God or if you're going to be a normal teenager. And that's really cool. And that comes from leadership like you guys and like our Wake leaders. And they see you in the high school, and they see you in the field, and see you upstairs in the lobby. And that's really cool. It's been huge for me to see how to act when I'm 35. So it's been cool. So thank you for being on and for taking a lot of time out of your Friday night. And yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you want to say? Anything?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes. I'm pleasantly surprised with how fun this was. That was great.